If you live in Northern Virginia or Southern Maryland and you have a dog or a cat, I'm going to say out loud what a lot of people only think. Have you ever had pest control done and later you wondered, was that actually safe for my pet? That question makes a lot of sense, and most people don't ask it because something terrible happened. They ask it because they care and they don't want something terrible to happen. And here's what's tricky. That question can sit in the back of your mind long after a technician leaves. So today we're going to make it simple. Not marketing simple, real home simple. In a minute, Lisa is going to explain the one word that matters more than any, label. And once you understand that word, you'll be able to judge any company's pet safe claim in about 10 seconds. Here's how this conversation usually starts for us. A new client will call about something normal, like ants in the kitchen, spiders in the basement, something showing up where it shouldn't. We talk through the home, the timing, what they've noticed, and then, almost like they were bringing it up carefully, they say, before we move forward, can I ask you something? Is what you do safe for pets? And then comes the reason. The last time they had a pest control service, their dog just didn't seem right afterwards. They usually clarify fast because they don't want to accuse anyone. You know, things like, he wasn't sick, we didn't rush to the vet, he was just off for a few days. And that moment tells me a lot. Not about one product, it tells me they've never had someone explain how pets actually experience a home that's received pest control service. Most homeowners have been taught to think about safety like a label. Pet safe or not pet safe. You know, like a light switch, it's on or it's off. But real life doesn't work like that. Health doesn't work like that. And pest control certainly doesn't work like that. A label tells you what a product is allowed to be used around. It does not tell you how your pet experiences the product in your home. Because pets don't live at eye level, they live on the floor. They lay on rugs, they roll on carpet, they're always grooming themselves, licking their paws. The question isn't only what's used, the question is also, where was it placed? How often was it applied? Was it necessary to be applied? And that brings us to the world Lisa cares about most. It's the world that makes this whole thing make sense. This is where I bring Lisa into the conversation, because the real issue isn't the phrase pet safe, the real issue is exposure. Lisa, can you explain what that means in normal language?
Sure. From a veterinary perspective, what matters most isn't just the list of chemicals on the label, it's the amount of exposure. And exposure is actually simple. It's three things. How much contact is happening, how often is it happening, and where is it happening? Pets experience homes very differently than people do. They walk through areas, they groom themselves, they lay on floors, rugs, and pet beds. So even when something is allowed for use around pets, if exposure is frequent, broad, or unnecessary, it can still matter. That's why two homes can have the same product involved and one home has no concerns, where the other home feels like their pet is off for a day or two after treatment. And I also want to be very clear, pest control does not replace veterinary care. Flea prevention, tick prevention, heartworm prevention, these are medical decisions. Talk to your vet about what's right for you and your pet.
Thanks, Lisa. Now let me translate two terms you'll hear in our industry. Not to sound technical, but just so you know what people mean. The first term is over-application. Over-application simply means more product in more places than was actually needed. It often happens out of habit. Treat everything just in case. It can feel safer because it looks thorough. But for pets, it often means more exposure, not better results. The second term is rebound activity. Rebound is when activity gets quiet for a while and then comes back. Not because the product failed, often because the conditions that caused the problem were never addressed. So the home gets treated again and again. And that's how overexposure quickly builds up over time. This is why our approach is different. We don't believe the goal is a sterile home. Nature should exist. We just don't want pests inside. And we don't want pets and people exposed to pest control products unnecessarily. So we don't treat pest problems like a product problem. We treat them like a condition problem. And conditions are simple. It's moisture, entry points, habitat, it's movement, When you address those areas, you usually need less treatment, not more. That's safer for pets, safer for kids, and it holds up over time. Pet-safe pest control isn't about what product was used, it's about how often, where, and why the exposure happens. If you're a pet owner, here's the standard I'd like to encourage you to use. Ask this one question. How do you reduce exposure for pets in the way that you apply your treatments? If the answer is only, the label says it's pet safe, that's not enough. If the words pet safe have ever felt unclear, trust that instinct. It's worth listening to. Safety isn't a word. It's a strategy based on exposure, product placement, and thoughtful prevention. That's how we protect homes. That's how we think about it. If you're in Northern Virginia or Southern Maryland and you want a second set of eyes on how your home is being treated, especially with pets in mind, we're always happy to talk it through with you. No pressure, just clarity. I'm Gene. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.